Hi there, I'm Chef Celeste, and welcome to my Louisiana kitchen, where I take you all around Louisiana through food. On this episode, we are talking sweets, sweets, and more sweets. We're going to make my favorite pecan sandy cookies, and we're making your favorite beignets. So stay tuned. We're going to get started on this here, and we are just going to go out with a bang. So with my cookies, it's going to be a shortbread dough. So we have flour, we have sugar, we have butter. I have a little bit of salt because you need a pinch of salt to go with that sweetness, and we have our baking soda. So in here, flour, in, sugar, in, pinch of salt. You put all your dry ingredients in together, just as a touch. You have about a tablespoon of baking soda going in. You want to mix all of this in together. So I have a dough mixer here and mix it in. So just keep that going right there. These recipes are not complicated. That's the one thing I want you to know when you're cooking in the kitchen, especially with me. Keep it nice, simple, and light, because we like to have fun. That's what I want you to do, have fun in the kitchen, be nice and easy in the kitchen. So now we're going to put the butter in. The butter is room temperature. It's not overly salt, but you see how it's just breaking down when I put it in there with my blender. I don't want to mix this all by hand. You can use your fingers. You can get the kids in the kitchen with you. Do that, do whatever you like. And just go on in there. You see what I'm doing? Just mix. So while I'm doing that to incorporate everything, let's take you around and talk about festivals. We're going to talk about strawberry festivals. We're going to talk about catfish festivals. We are going to talk about blueberries. We're going to talk about pecans, all of that stuff. There is a festival for just about anything you can possibly think of. So that's why I fell in love with the state. It's just so many things to do. You can go to Lafourche and try and spell Lafourche. We have one of the longest bridges over water. You can go to the Atchafalaya Bridge. I'm just going to throw some names out here. And what I want you to do, spell them, and then look them up and see how it's really spelled. That's a combination of our French influence in there on a lot of these names. So you see how this is starting to get crumbly in here? That's what we're going for. So I'm going to keep scraping this off of here and just get the butter, make sure it's all incorporated. Keep going just like that. So I live in Baton Rouge. So what I like to do in Baton Rouge, I love to go down to the fireworks. We have fireworks for everything because there's a holiday for almost everything. So you come, you party, but we're still a very serious state when we need to be. So I love the opportunities that are there. You'll love it too. Just come on down, see what suits your fancy, because it's something for everybody. So while I'm doing this one here and I'm about to go in with my hands, I want you to think about, what is your favorite cookie? Pecan is a very popular staple in Louisiana cooking and Louisiana baking. We have our pecan trees, we have our pecan orchards. I'm going to tell you about Mr. Buddy. He has oranges, he has pears, he has figs, he has a little bit of everything out there. So I love to go and pick the figs, pick the blueberries, all those type things. It just you can take them, you can make custards, jellies, jams, you name it, you can make it. So I'm going to mix this together with my hands now. I'm going to pull over my cookie sheet in a minute, but before we do that, I'm going to let this rest in the refrigerator for a half an hour. I want it to chill, that way the butter can chill a little bit before it goes into the oven, because if you put it into the oven warm like this here, it's going to spread all over for you. It will still be delicious, but that's not what I want. So I'll be right back. All right, I have a silicone baking sheet here. So I'm just going to lay them on there, whatever size you want, just put them on there like that. I chopped up some pecans, not pecans, pecan. Say it with me, pecan. We're going to put that on here. Lay them there. Now make sure when you're doing your cookies and you're adding any type of nuts in here, if you have someone that's allergic, be mindful of that and do a separate recipe for them so that way they can have it. My daughter's allergic to all tree nuts, so I make sure that I try not to incorporate that in a lot of my cooking when I'm cooking at home. All right, so we're going to add these in here. And if you go backwards, it doesn't matter. If you put this on here like this before you put them in the cooler, make sure you just put them in the cooler before you put them in the oven. And we'll go from there. Make 2 more cookies out of that. I'm gonna roll that around, get all of it out of here. So baking and pastries are really big in Louisiana. You have your beignets, you have your king cakes, you have all different types of cookies. We have the bread puddings, we have pecan pies, you name it, we have it. So these are chilled, these are ready to go in the oven. I'll be right back. All right, you want beignets. I know you've been waiting all season for beignets, and I'm gonna give it to you. But we're gonna go the easy route because I don't make these from scratch. Why would you make them from scratch? There's plenty of companies that you can order your beignet mix from. So do that, be authentic with it, okay? So I have my mix here. This is a water only mix. So I have my beignet mix, I have my water, I have my flour to roll it out on, and I have my powdered sugar to make it even yummier. So you can add things in here if you want to fill it after it's already fried. We are not gonna do that. We're going old school, traditional. So I'm going to add my water in here a little at a time. The box calls for 7 ounces. So that's what I'm going to give it, 7 ounces. So just stir it in here. I like to use a wooden spoon. Again, if you want to use your hands, feel free to do that. A little bit more water, a little bit at a time. That way I can get it all mixed in here. All right, going in with some more. I'm gonna go in with the rest of it. All right, 3-phase. Okay, if I need to add a little more water, I'll do that. You can get your measuring cup out if you need to get your measuring cup out and do that. All right, you see how that's starting to come together? Coming together nicely. But I do want a little more water in here, so let me get a little more. I'm right here. Got that. Going in. Not much. Okay. Just a little bit at a time. That's why I say a little at a time. You see how that dough is starting to form? Now, I'm going to put my flour on the board, and we're going to knead this out. This is almost like a biscuit dough, so you're not going to knead it to where you're making bread, because we're not making bread. I don't want this to get tough on me. So this is where my hands are going to get messy. Probably my apron, probably your apron. So let's go in, let's pick this up. This is a nice tender dough. Let me roll it out on here. Push that off to the side. Move my water. Let me put a little bit more flour on top. You can be kind of generous with the flour because you don't want this sticking. So let me put it on the side here. Push that up. Spread it out. I'm not going to use a rolling pin. I'm just going to use my hands. So go in like that. Okay. Pat it out. And watch what I'm about to do. I don't want it overly thick. All right. You can read the instructions on the box. Who does that? I don't. I'm going to teach you how to cook by eyeballing. Because what happens if you don't have an ingredient? Can you not make your dish? Yes, you can still make it. So let's cut these out. And then we're going to fry them up. These are going to be nice and big. I'll give you some baby ones too for the little kids. My oil is warm. It's on medium. I'm going to turn down just a little bit more. Now watch, when I put these in, I do not want you to put it towards you. This is very important. Put this in going away from you, okay? You want to go away from yourself. Let me slice this away. That way, if it splashes, it does not splash on you. So I'm going to get these fried up. We're going to plate them. We're going to put that powdered sugar on there. We're going to put our cookies in that I've taken out of the oven. And we are going to have a feast. We'll be right back. All right there, we are finished. The cookies have come out of the oven. Look how beautiful they are. They are just ready for us to take a bite. Look at that gorgeousness in there. You can do this too, just a few ingredients. Then we're talking about our beignets. We put the powdered sugar on here, just a nice little sprinkle. Traditionally, just put them in a paper bag with lots of powdered sugar, shake them up. When you come to New Orleans, hit some of the coffee shops. We have very famous coffee shops that serve beignets and our chicory coffee. So enjoy yourselves. I want to thank you for staying with me for my first season of My Louisiana Kitchen with Chef Celeste. I look forward to seeing you for many more seasons. Stay safe, cook some good Louisiana food, and come on down and visit us. I'll see you soon.